What's going on, y'all? We are back with our pre-market watch list. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Even though we're a day late. Um, but as you see, yesterday I took Sunday market talk off. I wanted to see how the market was gonna open for futures. Because I really had not much until I seen where the market opened, and we got down a little bit, but all in all, we didn't do too much for Sunday market open. So um, I'm gonna say not that important. We are, kind of pushing down this morning pre-market, um, and so yeah, today should be an interesting day. There is no news other than existing home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Um, but other than that, should be a pretty clean day in the market. Today is Monday, which is our day where we just understand or try to understand what the market wants to do. So let's hop straight into this, go over what we're watching, and see if we can get prepped to make some money today. Um, so of course, the first thing I'm looking at is QQQ. QQQ over the week has went crazy. Um, we slipped this little zone that we drew from last Thursday, and we just made a big push. Broke through 700, ripped through 700, and made a high all the way up here at 712, 70, 50, 60. And so with today's watch, what I'll be watching is this high. If we are above this high at 712.60, we're bullish. With our next levels being 715, 718, 720, 725, all the way up to 730 is possible. And like I said, that's if we get above these highs up here at 712.60. It's our pre-market highs basically. But for me, I would love to see a pullback. Of course, whichever way the market is going to go, that's going to be the train we try and hop on. But for me, I would love to see a pullback just so we can, establish some positions in these other tickers and things. Because, if we keep going higher, the market's going to keep ripping, and it's just going to be a constant push. And to the downside for Qs, the levels I really want to focus on is like this range right here, the 711 to 710, and we could probably even really drop it down to like 709.30. If we get under this, if we lose this 710 to 709 level, we can go into 708.50, which is this bullish order block on the lower time frame. Let's see what we look like on the higher. There's no bullish order blocks on the 1 hour. 15 minutes. Yeah, so really this 708.50. If we lose 708.50, we could see a pretty decent drop down to probably like QQQ 700. Of course, we'll have a little bit of support here at 705, but if we lose 705, we should be able to see that 700. After 700, we get back to this demand zone around 695 to 692. And after that, we could continue all the way possibly down to 675. But what I want to see is at least a pullback to 700. If we lose 700, maybe around 695. And then, if it continues, we can see where we go from there. But overall, 695 is a good ending result that I would want to see. Now, of course, this might not be a one-day thing, but just something to keep our eyes on if we lose 710 to 709, after 709, 705, we lose 705, 700, and then our 695. So real simple on the Qs, not much to it except for watching our levels play out. If they play out, then we just get in with the momentum, and we hold our trade to our levels. And you can see under 700, there's literally no volume in this gap down to 695. So that would be very nice. And we have a magnet at that, PDL. Um, so that's pretty much it for Qs. Tesla. Tesla, we caught some nice longs off of. We were eyeing at 393. We were saying above 393 could really rip, and we ended up pushing all the way up to 430. I like Tesla under 422 for shorts, but this is a really strong chart right now. So I'm not too interested in it just yet. I want to see how it moves today, see what sets up, but the setup for me isn't there just yet. And the main two I want to look at today is Microsoft and Meta. So Microsoft and Meta on Friday were both, you can see here, some of the tech stocks, most of them were green. Even POTR went green on Friday. POTR has been struggling. But everything was pretty much green, a decent amount of green. And then you have Microsoft and Meta being some weak names. Microsoft being down almost 1.5%, and Meta being down 1%. So I'm going to, like I said, if Qs can be weak today, I'm going to be expecting these charts to be some of the stronger, weaker names, if that makes sense. The weaker names, and we get some continuation on these. So for Microsoft, I'm going to, if you can see, let's turn off our indicators. We have this red box. If we pop up anywhere in here from like this 414 to 417 area, I would love shorts. Of course, we'd use our lower time frame to get a more precise entry, but this is around the area where, I would definitely load up on shorts. Or if we push back down, maybe lose this 410 pre-market lows, we could look for this 408. After 408, I have us going to 405. And then if we lose 405, I think we can get a good push down to like 397, which is last Thursday's. No, these are lows from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, April 30th. So we'll be watching that. This is last Wednesday's lows at this 405. So that's my main watch for Microsoft, is if we can lose this 410, we can go to 408. Like I said, after 408, 405, and 397, which is some April lows. Is that the month of April's lows? No, not at all. Not even close. So, yep, that's it for Microsoft. Like I said, I love the way this chart looks as far as shorts, since it's already a weak chart from last week. Hopefully we can just get the continuation on it. And then we have Meta Schmeta. We can see that Meta is in a consolidation right now, from this like 625 to 630 down to 600. If we break above this 620, Meta can squeeze. You can see that there's no volume in this range. So if Meta breaks this, Meta's going to have a big breakout to the upside. If it cannot break this, I think we can go down and visit. If we lose 600, I think we could see like 586. And maybe even get some expansion to like 560 is possible. So with Meta, what I'm going to be looking for is if we pop up to the 610 to 612 area, load up on some shorts, and I'm going to be looking to lose, of course, first this pre-market low is what I want to see us lose. After that, our next target is going to be 600. If we lose 600, then of course, like I said, we can maybe see this 586. If we lose 586, we can get some expansion into 560 if Meta becomes that weak. Like I said, this might not be a one-day move, but we could see that possibly this week. So that's my watch on Meta. if Meta does not lose 600, it could be more so long or just gonna chop. But Meta for me, I don't like it until we're above 620 for calls. If we get above 620, like I said, this chart can squeeze because, like you can see, there's literally no volume in this range. So that's what I have on Meta. Like I said, we got Microsoft on our watch, and then as well as QQQ. For puts, if I'm going to look for puts on Qs, I'd probably trade SPY over Qs, just because SPY looks a little weaker, and I have this level of 737 for SPY. If we lose 737, could drop back down to 735 to the 734 range. After that, 730, 725, and then 720 for our SPY levels. So let's see what the market gives us. Like I said, today's going to be a test of patience. My Mondays are usually pretty slow. And so what I want to see is, our trades play out, of course. But it's all about patience with Mondays, understanding what the market kind of wants to do for the week. Sometimes you can get like a nice continuation day on Mondays, but like I said, we'll see how it wants to ride for us, and we'll just take what the market gives y'all. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, and let's make this money.